If you ask 100 people what they think the best firearm for home security would be, 90 of them are going to tell you a pump-action 12-gauge shotgun. Coming up on the RA Factor, we're going to talk about the 12-gauge pump-action shotgun for use in a home defense situation and what you need to know about the original point-and-click interface. The first reason to use a pump-action shotgun is the sound that that gun makes. You are in the wrong place and you hear this. You can be illiterate, but you still know that that means get out of my house. Pump shotguns are probably one of the first guns that we as Americans are exposed to. Most police departments equip police cars with pump shotguns. And the one thing that the pump shotgun has over the handgun is this handgun requires a lot of training to become proficient, and then at night you actually have to aim at the target that you're intending to hit. That may sound elementary that you should aim every gun, but a shotgun, because it has a spread of pellets, is an area fire weapon and not a point fire weapon. The shotgun in this configuration has an open or cylinder bore, and the pellets come out and they spread out. So in the rush of a home invasion situation or a burglary, the shotgun gives you the better chance of getting a first round hit to stop the aggressor coming towards you. This Remington comes with a 2-shot extension, a sling swivel, and it's possible to put both an extended capacity saddle, sling, flashlight, or any other attachments to this shotgun. This Model 500 from Mossberg, we feature here at Hyatt's, comes with an LED flashlight from Insight Technologies. This allows you to mount a flashlight that's not an extraneous piece of equipment. It's made inside of the slide action, and the batteries are changed from behind. It uses easy-to-get batteries, and you have a long, long life on the LED bulb. What I tell my students to do is, they hear that crash, that bump, that indicator that there's something nasty going on in their house that shouldn't be. One spouse rolls out of the bed and stays in the floor, lay flat out. The other, recover your shotgun and then kneel behind the bed and point that 12 gauge straight across that bed towards the door. When that door opens, turn the flashlight on. It's a blinding light, and the individual that's coming into that bedroom isn't looking at bed level. They're looking at shoulder level initially. You hit them with the flashlight, and what that does is that gives you that split-second advantage that you need to determine, is this one of my kids coming to get me because they're sick? Is this someone who's a welcome guest? Or is this an intruder that's planning to do me bodily harm? A lot of people now are also going to the shorter or pistol grip shotgun. The pistol grip shotgun has some disadvantages that you need to understand before you invest in one. The pistol grip shotgun obviously does not have a butt stock, and so that means to use this shotgun you have to rest the shotgun into your rib cage or slightly below. That means that all of the recoil from this 12 gauge shotgun is going to be felt right here in your wrist or right here in your rib cage. You also don't aim a pistol grip shotgun. One, you don't want to be holding it this close to your face and then have the recoil bring the gun back up and hit you in the head. That's one reason Mossberg has equipped most of their pistol grip shotguns with this strap right here. This strap also can be used as a pivot point or to prevent an assailant from taking this shotgun away from you. One of the unique things about this Mossberg shotgun is this strap that's under your slide. Now what this does is it makes it really difficult for someone to take this shotgun away from you. In this demonstration, we're verifying that this shotgun is unloaded, and I don't recommend that you point a shotgun at anyone at home. The reason we're doing this is so you can see the movement that this strap will allow you to make. Clint's going to play the part of a bad guy, and I'm a homeowner. I'm holding like this. Clint comes up and takes his right hand and pushes the gun to my left. All I have to do with this point is take one step and the gun's back on target. Go ahead and take either hand and push down. Pushing down, I use the strap as a focal point and can turn straight back up. Take one hand and go up with it. Same thing. Now, move to the other side with this hand, pushing away, one step, or pushing towards the wall. I just move the gun out with this hand, and I can still engage. The one thing that's unique about this, and they're the only ones that do this, is that gives me total control, even if the aggressor has grabbed the front end of the gun. So at this, it's not as easy to take that gun away from me as it would be if this strap wasn't there. Sometimes people find themselves in the situation where these guns are just too big for them. The pistol grip shotgun doesn't feel comfortable to them, and the standard full stock like the Remington or the Mossberg is just a little bit too large. People of shorter stature, thin individuals, people that have really delicate hands. What we have found to use in those cases is something like this Remington in a youth model. What a youth model does is it cuts down the length of the buttstock and it has a shorter barrel. Now, the minimum barrel length allowed by law is 18.1 inches. We put the 0.1 in there because if you cut a barrel, you want to go over the 18 inches just to make sure that whoever's measuring that barrel for the cut doesn't have a defective measuring instrument. A youth model shotgun is a great addition to a home, boat, or camping trailer. It's small, it stashes out of the way, and it's right there whenever you need it. One thing you may want to also consider is to step down from a 12 gauge to a 20 gauge. The reason for that, the 20 gauge has less recoil, but it's going to give you about the same spread pattern on just a few less pellets at the same distance. One of the other choices available is a coach gun like this one. A coach gun is a double barrel side-by-side shotgun that's cut down to the minimum length allowed by law. This gun is extremely simple to operate. It's a break open action. We're using for our demonstration dummy rounds. Load 2 rounds in, close. You have 2 triggers, 1 for each barrel. Once you've fired both rounds, and you simply replace the 2 rounds. Break open shotguns are extremely user-friendly. They're also very difficult to make not work. So, if you're looking for something simple that you can put next to the bed, you may want to think about a break open side-by-side coach gun. One of the things you may want to consider is what type of shot shell do I use in my shotgun for home defense. In the video that we did on the RA Factor on shot shells, we discussed the best shot shells for home security. Just a recap of that, buckshot is the old standard. That's what everybody uses, and that's what most people are going to tell you to get. Slugs are coming into their own. Slugs are a 1 ounce 79 caliber projectile. It takes just as much aiming with a slug as it does with a handgun or a rifle because you have one projectile. One of the things I like to tell people to try is a number 6 shot or a number 7. The reason for that, it spreads out and gives you a better chance for a first round hit on an assailant. Also, 1 ounce of lead at 21 feet is an ounce of lead, whether it's in buckshot or number 6 rounds. The other reason for that is, remember, you're not trying to kill someone, you're trying to stop the aggression. So I suggest in a home situation where you want to worry about over-penetration, shooting through walls and getting someone that's an innocent bystander, or injuring a member of your own family, go with a number 6 round. That number 6 round will not penetrate as much as the buckshot, and it darn sure isn't going to go in as deep as a slug. A choke goes into the front of the barrel of a shotgun, and it changes the shape and size of the spread of your pellets. Most home defense shotguns are going to be open or what is called cylinder bore. That means that the choke in the end of the shotgun, if any, is as wide as it comes. Now, some people prefer to use a full choke, but do not shoot a slug or buckshot with a full choke. It's not good for the gun, and it's really not good for you sitting behind it. If you're going to use slugs or buckshot, use an open or cylinder bore. If you're going to use a number 7 round, an opened or cylinder bore is just fine, but you can begin to tighten that up just a little bit. Now, these shotguns that I have in front of me, this Mossberg, this is what's called a breacher bore. What these were designed for is to blow hinges off of doors, and this was designed for military and law enforcement use. I can't think of a real good civilian application for one, but it does look cool. This shotgun is also a cylinder bore and does not have the capability of taking a removable choke. Some side-by-sides, you'll have one barrel that's an open or cylinder, and then another that's either a modified or full. You look inside of the shotgun and you can tell what the size of the bore of this gun is. The thing I'm getting at, make sure that you match your choke to the shell that you're using. Using a full choke and a slug is really not a good idea. It can cause the gun to catastrophically fail. When most people think about a shotgun, they think about something like this Browning, something that your dad, your grandpa, yourself, one of your uncles used hunting. You think about a hunting gun. Well, a hunting gun can have some major disadvantages in the home defense role. The first disadvantage that this gun has is its size and length. A security shotgun is somewhat shorter. This also has a limited round capacity that most of your security shotguns do not. This shotgun could either hold 3 or a maximum of 6 rounds. Most hunting guns are going to have 1 in the chamber and 2 in the magazine. That's not sufficient in a home security role if you have more than 1 or 2 assailants in the house. The pump action shotgun with the 18.1 inch barrel is just right if you have to move in or around your home. Now, please take this disclaimer to heart. Don't hunt the bad guy. The bad guy knows where he is, but unless you have to get to a child or another family member that's cut off in a different part of the house, stay where you are. Don't go hunting the bad guy. You go around the corner, you have something like this. The bad guy sees the barrel good 1 to 2 seconds before you get in a position to use that shotgun to defend yourself. If the bad guy is close enough, he grabs the barrel and then baseball bats the shotgun and you into the wall. At that point, you just armed your assailant and you're no longer good to defend anyone. You want to make sure that you hold your shotgun in a low ready position, especially if for some reason you do have to clear a corner. And don't silhouette yourself in the corner. One thing I tell all of my defense students to do is put night lights in all of your hallways. Night lights will give you the advantage because you know what is and what is not supposed to be where. The other thing you do is shut the bedroom doors at night. Shutting a bedroom door is another barrier that bad guy's got to get through to get to you and your family. And that can give you that split second that you need to make sure that you are the one that has the upper hand in any defensive engagement. As we become more urbanized in this country, the places where you can go for shotgun practice become extremely limited. We don't all have farms that we can go out and shoot on anymore, and a lot of indoor ranges don't want to see you shoot a shotgun because they're afraid of ricocheting pellets. What I recommend that you do is, if the only place that you can shoot is an indoor range, shoot slugs. That's one projectile and it's heading down range, not 100 pellets which could bounce off of the floor or ceiling. If you do have an outdoor range in your area, I recommend that you do two things. One is that whichever shotgun you've chosen, you buy a couple of boxes of inexpensive skeet or hunting loads and shoot those. The reason being, it gets you used to the recoil. It gets you used to the sound. It gets you used to how that shotgun loads, feels, and acts. Then get an extra box of whatever round it is that you plan to keep in that gun for home security, whether it be a number 6 or a great Hornady Tap 12 gauge round, or whether you're going to use buckshot or slugs. Get an extra box of those and shoot those. Every person in your home that is going to use that shotgun or have that shotgun available for use in a defense role needs to do the same amount of shooting. That means husbands have no problem with going to the range and shooting 3 boxes of 12 gauge rounds, but a wife may not want to. You need to get every person that's going to shoot that shotgun familiar with how that gun works, how it loads, how the safeties work, and how you can safely clear that firearm and get all the ammunition out of it. So right now, whether you're going to use an old hunting type gun, a dedicated defensive shotgun, or you're going to go retro old style with a break open side-by-side, you know why right now 90% of shooters out there, when polled, say that a shotgun is the best thing you can use for home defense. Well, that's what I've got on what I call the original point and click interface. See you next time.